Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 in this best of 3 series between Aizamk and Yurashic. Spanish versus Iroquois. Definitely one of the longer games of Age of Empires 3 to be seen, especially in this matchup. Let's be honest, this matchup doesn't usually last this long at all. Do enjoy the video. It was definitely a fun one to watch. Yeah, Aizamk does take Spain as his first first choice of civilization.
Yes.
Yeah, Yurashic can still play China, it is worth pointing out. The rules are different for Saturday Smackdown compared to the ESOC tournament, where in the tournament you cannot play a civilization once you've used it. In Smackdown, you cannot play a civilization once you've won with it. So A's can no longer play, or also you can play Iroquois and Ottoman, we're okay with that, whereas in the tournament you can't.
Anything goes in Smackdown.
Iroquois versus Spanish. I feel like this is possibly the most lopsided matchup out of all of them.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. The thing about Spain, though, is Spain can just blind FF and probably still be okay. I feel like ports actually, or Iroquois dumpsters other civs harder than Spain. Spain is pretty low on the tier list, but I don't know that you're going to necessarily be able to stop Spain from still just straight FFing.
And how does Iroquois deal with the two cannons, aside from the Kenya Horsemen? I don't think they can, really.
And just sheer mass is essentially, right? You just have... If you have 40 military units and Spain has 2 Felks and 8 Pikes, well, guess what? Your 40 military units is still superior in every way.
If you can jam those two... Yeah, well, yeah, true, but I think Falconet's tough to deal with. And also Spain get a lot of... Actually, that's not so relevant. It's more relevant against the Sioux, the fact they get so many sort of anti-cavalry shipments. But, So we do have Spain spawning in the left-hand side of the map in the colour red. Not the south left, not the north left. Just the left.
I almost made a south-right comment in the Siberia game. And then...
We do see in the south right, though. Yurashic laying down a trading post.
He's 100% in the south-right of the map. As he works his way down west. Down west. He's heading down west. That just sounds like
he's heading up right now.
Yeah. Up. Oh.
No, he's going
He's going down left again.
Down left again. Down left again. All right, enough of that. We do have Yurashic spawning in the right-hand side of the map, and the color blue playing as the Iroquois. Clearly from the sort of explorer we looked at there. Leaving his coin on the floor, of course, that's not going to be of any use whilst the age is up. Does get that trading post, and his first shipment will no doubt be that 3 villages that we'll see. In fact, for both players here. Finds himself a 150 food treasure. Aizamk is fairly nearby. Here comes in Piroshiki, by the looks of it. That's the name of the explorer. Can he pick up this treasure?
It's going to be really, really close. The War Dog here adding in a lot of extra value, trying to kill off that polar bear as well.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. It's going to be really close. A's got it.
I think A's got it, yeah. Does go in there. Now, can he get out before he gets dumpstered by Yurashic's explorer? Looks like he does. Loses the polar bear. What's he doing? Is it because of the War Dog? Is Yurashic scared?
Yeah, the War Dog, I mean, the War Dog has 15 hand damage with no negative multipliers against that explorer. The War Dog actually will just absolutely torch the Iroquois explorer.
It's only got 52 HP, though. Surely the I guess having only 6 hand attack with no multipliers versus... animals, actually, yeah, it's totally understandable for Yurashic to want to get out of here.
Yeah. Plus, he can kite it around to some degree as well, which makes it difficult. Like the Spanish explorer is always going to be standing there, swinging his sword away, hand attacking. Well, Yurashic is going to have to be kiting back and forth between the dog and then trying to get away from the explorer and then shooting at the dog and then the explorer. And that whole time, the explorer just keeps hitting him. He's going to lose a lot of HP as a result of that. So just doing the smart thing.
Really good for A's here, getting that explorer down. That, the extra HP, I believe it is, that he grants to units in the area.
Yep.
Does something like that. And also the ranged attack, just as a unit, and the special attack are going to be less useful now that that's low on HP and easily killable. It is worth noting it does get another 100 HP for free upon hitting up to the next stage, so it's still a threat, but certainly good for A's that he does manage to pick up the treasure and do lots of damage to his opponent's explorer. Here he is, though, also picking himself up 80 food as well. I'm interested to see what A's has in mind here. It doesn't look like sort of a standard FF, since he has built a market there for the extra economy potential. Often you will skip the market when you fast fortress as Spain, though there are, of course, bills that do incorporate a market for the extra economy. But against Iroquois, I'm not sure which is better.
Yeah, and he'll be perfectly fine. We can see he's aging up with the governor, and so if you take a quick look at his coin, he has 100 coin in bank, plus the 200 from governor, plus 700 from the potential 700 coin shipment.
I see.
Adds up to be exactly 1,000. So with all of his villagers currently gathering what they're gathering, essentially just food.
Wow, that's an interesting wall placement. I think that's where he's going to put his Falks.
Yeah, it's probably where he's going to put his Falks in his tower. I would assume that we'll see the tower go in there as well.
Yeah, it can't be sieged if it's in the middle there. I don't think... Obviously, there is a bit of range. You do have a little bit of range on units for siege damage, but I think this wall will negate that entirely. It does look like he's going to have to build a gate to get in, or actually, no, he's left a couple of segments on 0, so it can just walk through. No, going to be placing sort of behind the wall. So it makes me wonder what this is for. It must be for the falconets, or something like that, sort of ranged infantry in the middle, perhaps. But we'll have to see what... It's clearly a defensive structure, and he has something in mind with it. We'll have to see how that works for him. What does the Iroquois player have in mind, though?
Looks like just a fast stage with 5 vills, which I don't mind. I mean, as I mentioned, you're probably not going to stop the Spain player from FFing. That's probably something that you're just not going to do. And so Yurashic's still aging up quickly, at least providing the threat in case his opponent does something silly, like build forward villagers or something like that. You can still slam down Fort Kanya, punish him super hard for it, but just taking the economic route behind it, going 5 villagers, 600 wood, and then potentially following it up with, you know, another coin shipment or something like that.
Where's that rush? Aizamk perhaps feeling like he's overinvested on this wall, though. It's not that expensive, but still, he was anticipating a rush, clearly.
Yeah, and it's villager gather time and stuff like that as well. Where's the Piro FF?
I love how it's been shorthanded to Piro FF. That's great.
It's great.
You know, it's got its own place in the metagame now, even though it's not the best strategy. But I don't know. It's Spain, and Spain's not the best civilization either. 5 Tomahawks going to be used to pick up this villager at treasure here with what he's named Canadian, which I feel is fairly accurate, actually. Anyway.
Yeah, it is. To be fair, like that's where the Iroquois were originally from.
Clearly going for sort of an economic style. Clearly these Tomahawks not being used offensively at all, and has in mind grabbing an extra villager with them.
Yeah, and similarly behind us, Ace is going like full eco FF once again. 5. Look at his shipment tab: 3 vil, 5 vil, 4 vil, just straight up pure villager shipments. Which is
Spain can boom. Spain can boom. The extra shipments they have, I think, from a design perspective, were for giving you the ability to play a civ that you can choose your own civilization bonus with, because you get extra shipments to sort of be flexible with. But go ahead.
Yeah, it seems like also probably the first civ they made, they're like, I don't know, let's make Spain. And so they made Spain, and they probably didn't have any bonus at all to start with, because it was just like the first civ they were making, and they hadn't ever made a civilization before and hadn't come up with all these cool ideas for like passive eco bonuses, or maybe the idea of having passive eco bonuses wasn't even a thing yet. And so as a result, then when they came back to Spain, they're like, like this civ kind of got the shaft. We didn't do anything. What should we do to make it playable?
Do you really think that?
I think that's what happened. And they're like, I don't know, let's just give them some extra XP.
It does, like, I think all of the bonuses are themed on the civilization's history and sort of what they were as a civilization in real life. Certainly Spain sent a lot of shipments home, not to the New World, but certainly sent a lot of stuff from, like, you know, they tried to transport coin that they got from the Aztecs back to Spain, and that was something they had on their agenda. Perhaps that influenced the decision. And British, of course, one of the, with the manor houses, starting in fresh in the New World, and lots of settlers coming from sort of the British Isles. I think there is a theme there, but I think, again, it's a really, really sort of flavorless bonus.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a look at the shipment tab again. We have the royal decree to claim the New World. It has now arrived. I don't even really
I can tell you what you get. I know it because I played Spain on vanilla as my main. In there is quarterphage, costs 1,000 wood and ships you 13 guard halberdiers. It's not worth doing unless you can get them out at the sort of 7:30 minute mark and just destroy your opponent's town center. That's often something I did versus the Dutch. They also have one in the Fortress Age, which gives them Hackapel, which costs quite a lot of coin and is by no means useful. They also have one that's very similar to the British one, which decreases the unit's speed and increases their decreases speed by 20% and increases HP by 25%. But if you're playing defensively, that's actually not too bad.
Yeah, that's certainly worth calling out. I mean, A's doesn't look like he's leaving his base anytime soon. And as a result of that, you know, having some extra stats to hold this big timing push that's going to come could be useful. I mean, we take a look at the fact that A's did just get aged up. But look at what he's going to have to deal with. So many Tomahawks, so many Aena, and so many Kanya. This is what I was calling the counter to 2 Falconets, right? There is no explicit hard counter, aside from the fact that he's just got triple the unit count.
Oh, God. What? What's he gonna do here? He's got so many resources as well. What does he intend to do with them? 1,300 food, 1,300 gold, and no military unit buildings, and no way to age up just yet. He needs a lot more food for that. What does he have in mind? I honestly can't see what he has intentions of doing. Maybe you ship Highlanders, and here's 1,000 wood.
Yeah, he spent 1,000 of the coin on something.
He just bought 1,000 wood, I think, at the market.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where's the church? Is he gonna? Yeah, the church is going up down here, and I think he's gonna ship quarterphage and use a 13 guard halberdiers out of nowhere to surprise his opponent with Minutemen.
And with this wall, I mean, some of the Tomahawks are a bit split off. We can see, combined with the tower fire, the town center fire, and...
There we go, 5 dogs coming in, plus the quarterphage and Minutemen. I think this is go time for Aizamk. We're going to see them any second now. Villagers coming out as well. Minutemen.
And Lancers! How did he get all that out? He's won. There's no way Eero's overcommitted here. The town center's going to live with 1,000 hit points. Wow.
Is it enough though?
Yeah.
I mean, they are guard halberdiers.
Yeah.
They do 32.
I think it's enough. Yeah. Wow. He's so good at the timings. If there's one thing.
I'm still shocked at that.
If there's one thing he does better than any other player, aside from just having these weird, crazy builds, it's his town center timings. And we saw how much stuff came all out at the exact right time. The halberdiers, the Minutemen, dogs,
lances,
everything. 5 different things all have to line up perfectly in order to win that fight. And they did. They came out at the perfect time. And as a result, smashed the fight.
The army, and look at the score now. Though part of that is because he has the veteran and guard halberdier upgrade, which he's never going to be able to use again. That contributes, I think, 12 score points, which are just not going to reasonably be there. This is not something you'd anticipate against. Like most of the time, you go, okay, I know my opponent can ship me here up against Germany. I don't want to hang around at its town center because of 8 Ulan's going to pop out plus a batch of 5 skirms or something like that. Against Spain, you don't think to yourself, 4 lancers and 13 guard halbs. I better get out of here.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, Yurashic losing his army to something he not necessarily was anticipating.
Wow. I'm still just in utter disbelief at how well that went for A's. I can't believe it. It's actually so impressive. Like, something like that to me is just that timing. Like, disregard the fact that you have to have the right resources to send all that stuff and like get all that clicked at the market, because that's an art in itself, right? Going to the market and making sure that your resources line up correctly so that you can call all that stuff. But just assume like you had all those things already sent in the bank and you knew that you were going to be able to send all these things, getting them to line up and like all those weird timings with the shipment coming in, the dogs training, the Minutemen training time.
Yeah.
It's such an awkward thing to make everything like that line up, and it did. And I've seen him do it so often with multiple civs. He's done it before with Portuguese and like Minutemen timings and stuff like that. all of that stuff just so
it,
impressive.
A is definitely good at timings, certainly, and his unit control is pretty okay as well, despite not even using control groups, but does manage to find enough resources to click on up to the industrial age here in a cent of 4. Has done it rather awkwardly, since 1,000 food is by no means efficient, but he's on up to the industrial age, and with the fort behind this, I think he's going to be okay with regard... What kind of a raid is that?
Big hull raid.
They're the same stats as veteran hussars in the attack department.
Yeah.
They're just cleaning up these villages.
The old 5-guard hull braid.
Oldest trick in the book. Right?
Oldest trick in the book. Completely standard.
Is it? Did he get the upgrade on there? I don't think he did. Those halves are moving quite fast for having 20% less speed. I don't think they have that upgrade, but it is worth noting that he can at any point make his colonial militia, if he intends to revolt, have 25% more hit points.
Sure. I also like Yurashic. He doesn't know what to do. Like, he saw the fort go up. He knows he can't go back into the town center. He knows also the town center got repaired. He feels a bit lost here, and pretty soon he's going to be in for a rude awakening when his opponent all of a sudden, somehow, out of some unreasonable situation, pulls his way into the industrial age. He's just going to be, it's going to be shock and awe.
Oh, wow. I'm just still reflecting on all those units that came out of that town center. Even sent his Minutemen out at that, not these villages out at the same time as well. To deal with that, but does ship 2 cannons by the looks of it, and ages up with 2 cannons as well. 4 falconets out of nowhere.
Oh my god, the volleys.
That volley.
Oh, please, no more.
Industrial Age Church.
Oh.
Okay.
Ah, yeah, the Industrial Age Church does look sick.
Yep. Oh no, 5 Kanya horsemen though. Incoming. Nothing to protect the cannons here.
Run, cannons, run! Where are those halberdiers when you need them? Oh, they're being chased off by a bunch of tomahawks. Oh, quick! Into the airlock!
What? Oh my god! Oh no, it's not built. Oh, we go out the other side. What?
Run! Unload! Unpack! Shoot! Fire at will, men!
What?
He's gonna lose the Falcons.
If that was fully built, those Falcons would be safe.
Yeah, they would just be. Oh, here come the Hackapels.
Was it better? There's the
wild geese.
Was it perhaps better to build a gate on the other side and just walk them through, so he had to walk around the town center and everything? I see where he did that wall segment.
Probably would have been.
He didn't have enough wood for a gate, so he deletes it so his Hackapel can get through and trap these tomahawks. I'm very sad that he lost his 4 Falcons, but if he got them in there safe, it would have been absolutely crazy.
And at the same, so let's actually take a step back and see.
Look at these villagers getting out of there as well. Wild geese of 121 hand down. Sorry, go ahead.
I want to take a moment to reflect on where we're at in the game, because take a look at the villager counts. 34 versus 30, so fairly even in terms of villager counts. Yurashic still stuck in the second age and doesn't look like he has any intentions of aging, so he's down in terms of tech by two ages. Plus now he's got, I don't know, 9 Hackapels running around in his base that he somehow has to deal with. Meanwhile, your opponent is powering away with a civ that has an advantage of having extra XP, and so despite the fact that he doesn't have any trading posts, things like factories, age 4 shipments, stuff like that are going to start becoming something you're going to have to deal with quite soon, and that in itself is going to be very annoying to deal with.
I wish I'd recorded this. I'm going to use your perspective for sure, but I am. This is wonderful.
It's so great.
Yeah. Why the Hackapel running around the map and halberdiers performing raids?
Yeah.
What? I'm so confused.
Only in an A's game.
Like, and look what he's doing with the Hackapel as well. These tomahawks aren't doing anything meaningful at all. They're just bumbling around trying to defend against stuff, whilst, you know, all this time A's is doing whatever he wants to do in his base, whilst keeping his opponent just randomly walking around the map trying to defend against Hackapel raids. Yep. Because they are quite threatening raids, of course, when they they can just walk up to a villager and one-bang it.
Yeah, he's essentially buying himself a whole bunch of time, and I'm curious to see what he's going to do with this time. He's gathered 1,000 food and pretty much hard stopped on gathering food. It looks like he's trying to gather 1,000 wood. Maybe we have a revolt coming? Oh, no, heavy cannons.
Yeah, heavy cannon's going to be very strong in this fight if he can time this well. Hackapels plus the heavy cannons. Which one do you focus?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or do you even? I don't think you
run.
stay.
I think you just run and cry. Oh, the volley.
Oh wow, that reminds me of mangonel hits in AOE 2.
Yeah.
That's devastating.
So brutal. And like now he can't continue to push forward. There's enough Hackapels here to act as a buffer to defend against this small number of Kanya that are here, and as a result of that, he's not going to be able to really efficiently deal with these two heavy cannons.
No, and behind this, I think we are going to see 38 or 30 colonial militia, and 2 trading posts, and he's.
Yeah, but is he actually going to? Do you think he's going to revolt?
I think so. There's no reason to have that much food and coin in stockpile when you do have a fort for training military units.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
Entirely possible that he does make, does continue to make units, but hasn't chosen to do that, and currently nothing in queue here. It's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of Kanya horsemen.
Yeah, that was
do you
maybe
think he should
his
have attacked
option.
them?
I think so. I think that was his chance. To get rid of those 2 heavy cannons. You can't allow those heavy cannons to live, or they're just going to punish your infantry.
But maybe Yurashic, because personally, I'd be not entirely sure on my army's strength in that fight, because you very rarely fight against Hackapel and 2 heavy cannons. Who actually wins that fight? Is the Kanya horseman enough? Like I personally would look at the fight and go, I don't know. That would be my initial reaction. And in the second that you have to respond to it, if your reaction is I don't know, you're going to get out of there. You're not going to go. Like, he's probably reflecting on it, thinking, maybe I should have gone in there. But in that moment, you think, oh my god, no, I don't know what to do. And then you just go, because that's the safe option. Is that what happened? I think it might have been.
That probably is true. All I know about Hackapels is I always equivalent them to, like, super Ulans, basically, where they're
I think that's
really...
almost...
Yeah. I mean, they're a really high attack, fairly low hit point unit. And so maybe you would have had a chance just to run in there and quick snipe the cannons, but... Like you said, that's just a situation that you never are dealt with. Like, age 4 Hackapel mercenaries against age 2 Kanya. Like, that's...
You saying too. Okay, the question. Yeah, I think all mercenaries mirror some other type of unit, such as Jaegers, look like skirmishers, and Black Riders look like dragoons. And yeah, these are clearly Ulans, as you pointed out here. Wait 5 mins. No, I go age 5.
Wow, and look at here, a big batch of 7 Hussar. The resources have been spent. Here it comes.
7 Hussar shipment was definitely a good idea right there, because 7 if you could ship 7 Imperial Hussars, you'd do it without a doubt. And you get 10 Imperial Hussars as well, plus the Imperial Hussar upgrade. He has the fort for training Imperial Hussars, and I think he's got the route upgraded. So, these training posts are going to support Hussar production, and of course they are Imperial 60 hand attack, 640 hit points. It says veteran Hussars. They're not. Look at the stats. They are Imperial Hussars.
Straight up Imperial Hussar.
106 military population. And that's not just, you can't just look at the population and compare the armies here, because Imperial Hussars and heavy cannons, I think, represent more power than the population they cost.
Yeah, well, they certainly do. It's just an insanity, tech advantage here at this point.
I think you just right-click here and no problem.
Yeah. I mean, just look at how quickly all these units are going to die. Even the heavy cannons doing an okay job.
And the fact that Colonial Militia have multipliers at range versus cavalry, these cavs stand no chance. That is the end of the game. Aizamk taking a victory with fairly stylishly.
Yes.
That was
so much fun. Yeah, that pop, Yurashic knows it too. That pop was...
Yeah. It just makes me miss the game from back when there were no such thing as established build orders and ideas about standard play. This is... I don't the kind of stuff I imagine would happen, though possibly not, because no one's going to be as skilled as Aizamk is when it comes to the timings and stuff. I don't think anyone could get that far. But Aizamk piloting the Spanish versus Iroquois, and that's enough said. A victory versus Iroquois with Spanish, it doesn't matter. Like you can end the sentence there, and that's impressive.
I want to go back to a comment that I made in the Sam versus Mito game, where we saw in the French mirror, right? Sam killing the native scout, and I said, like, this thing, like, take a snapshot and remember in your mind, like, when you compare PR35s versus PR40s, this is a very clear thing that separates those two level of play.
Mm-hmm.
That timing of military units popping out, that's another one. That is another thing. A PR35, they might still have the resources to get all of those things out. They may still get the Lancers. They may have the War Dogs trained. They may have the Minutemen coming. They may be able to pop all the villagers. They may be able to do everything exactly the same, or at least have the same amount of stuff, in air quotes. But to have it all come out at exactly the same time when your town center has 1,000 hit points remaining, that is the separation between the PR35 and the PR40. Having everything come out fluidly at the same time so that you can maximize the efficiency of everything that you have, that is the important and impressive thing. And
yep, I totally agree. And tomorrow I'm going to I looked for a long time for a clip that showed myself doing this in one of my previous Twitch VODs, where you sort of do exactly what A's did, so I could make a tips and tricks video on popping units out, because I think that is a tips and tricks that I should put up on my channel. I'm going to do that video tomorrow with this exact footage from Smackdown, and I'm actually very happy that this happened. To make it even better, I'd like to see a barracks or a stable pop out 5 units all at the same time as well, because it just exemplifies that skill to the, you know, everything you can do. But I think that was an adequate enough clip, and I'll make that video. Somebody asks, why no factories? Because factories are too slow in terms of tempo for this build to work, I think, would be the answer. To heavy cannons in terms of tempo and power level arrive, and they represent a massive threat that has to be dealt with and does a lot of damage and wins you the game. 7 Hussars, well, they're Imperial Hussars, are so strong in that moment that they, you know, sending factories, they take a while to pay off, basically. And if you're going to revolt, I most of the time don't think factories are a good idea, because you lose the tempo, and that's really the point of revolting. You're not playing for the economy. You're just playing for the massive power. What do I normally say? Spike. That's it. Power spike.
Big power spike.
That's what
and that's 100% the truth. If you train factories in that situation, especially when you didn't have a trading route established at that point, he's going to slow himself down significantly. And as a result of that, as you mentioned, the revolt's going to be slower, the power spike is going to be slower. He may just die to that timing push if he doesn't have, you know, those 2 heavy cannons to ward off that big batch of units. So, well, that was impressive, to say the least. To say the least, yeah. Very, very impressed with that Spain game. That does conclude it, though. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I am going to stream now on this channel, I believe, unless Zuta has something else planned. I was going to do one quick replay analysis, and then it's all yours. Okay, cool. I will wait for you to finish. Okay. But yeah, so coming up next, if you're new to, I see a lot of people here, 264 viewers, and we peaked at, I think, nearly 400, just, you know, like 350 like during the tournament. Pretty happy with that. So there might be some new faces here. We do this every week. And so tune in Saturday at exactly 20 GMT. That is 21 GMT in British time, but 20 GMT or 1 PM PST. If you're in the US, you can probably work it out from there. The VODs always go up on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/interjection videos, and my Twitch channel. You can see my name in the chat, and you can click through my name and go to my channel there, twitch.tv/interjection videos. Zuta, I don't think you have any channels, right? No, I do all of my stuff on the official channel now. On here. So, you know, stay tuned on here. Zuta does stream occasionally as well. But next up is a replay analysis, and then after that, I intend to speedrun. Maybe I'll try a few attempts. If I don't get it tonight, then I'll definitely be going again tomorrow. But that's it from me. I'm going to leave it to Zuta now, and it was really fun. Thanks for doing with me every week, even though it's your streaming. Yeah, of course. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
All right, peace. All right. So as Interjection mentioned, I am going to do a quick replay analysis. I just have to find the thread that has got the game that I am looking for. And once I find that, I will get started with the analysis portion. I think it was some guy playing Japan as well, which I was really happy to see. And Control F. And, must be on the second page now. There it is, Smackdown analysis. There we go. Oh, it's a Japan mirror. It's a fairly short game as well by the looks of it. There it is, show in folder. Sorry about this. There'll just be just a minute here while I get this game loaded up. I have not watched this game. I always make it a point to not watch the games before I review them, just so that I give my gut instinct reaction to all of the games for anybody that submits one. So this is a game submitted by whom? Oh, login session key was invalid. I don't care. This is a game submitted by